Hey guys, what's going on? It is Freedom Johnson, and today we are going to be talking about the forbearance. Now, this video is being made here in August, and the forbearance was actually 2 months ago. But I want to tell you what sellers are currently doing and what buyers were thinking and how they have to readjust their strategies right now. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so the forbearance is ending, so buyers are thinking, I'm going to wait until the forbearance ends for a lot of these sellers, because a lot of them are going to want to put their properties on the market. Some of that is true, some of that is not. But here's what the actual stats are actually saying right now. Before we get any further, maybe you guys don't even know what forbearance is. I'm going to give you a quick synopsis. Forbearance is where these lenders were actually letting sellers, due to the COVID, who couldn't afford their payments for whatever reason because they weren't working as well. The whole every single city was shutting down. So the lenders were saying, hey, if you owe $1,000 a month and that's what you're paying for your mortgage, we're actually going to let you file for forbearance, and we're going to let you pay that in one of 3 different ways. Some of these lenders, every lender has been different. Some of these lenders have been putting it on the back end of their loan. So if their loan was 10 years and 3 months and they didn't pay for 7 months, well, they would extend that loan to be 10 years and 10 months, because that 7 months that they didn't pay, they put on the back end of the loan. Some of these other lenders have been saying that you have to pay it in a lump sum at the end of your loan. And if that was $1,000 for 7 months, then they had to pay $7,000. One of the other ways they've been doing it is letting them remodify their loans and giving them 7 months they couldn't pay. Well, we'll remodify your loan, it'll increase your payment, but you won't have to pay that in a lump sum or at the end. So they were doing that for a lot of these sellers. Let me actually tell you what's going on right now. People are asking if there's going to be a housing market crash. I don't see it right now for this reason. It's still supply and demand. And when there was once maybe for every one house, there were 2 buyers. Well, now for every one house, there's 10 buyers, right? And the stats actually say we are 4 million houses behind where we should be. So if people are still wanting to buy, and sellers had this forbearance situation, but now they're in a situation where multiple buyers still want to buy their house, well, that is explaining why houses are going up in price, because people are still needing to buy properties. Now, for the buyers that were thinking, what type of houses can I buy? Everyone is affected in this situation. For instance, you got small landlords, right? I'm a small landlord. I just have a couple properties. Some small landlords had these tenants and they weren't paying. So they had to they couldn't file the eviction, so they had to file the forbearance. So if you have 1 or 2 or 3 properties, this is just a side thing for you, and this isn't your major, where you get a majority of your income from. Well, now it just becomes a problem because you bought this property and this tenant isn't paying and you can't evict them. What I'm seeing on the market right now is a lot of houses are actually being sold on the market with tenants in it. So if you are a home buyer, you're looking to buy a home, make sure that you're aware of some of these houses that are going on the market, that they are vacant, because if they have tenants in it, then you're just taking on an investment property. And with the evictions, it's going to take at least 30 days now, because the eviction thing has been released. So that's been lifted. I'll put that into this video right here where we can actually talk about the evictions. But if you're going to be buying a property, just make sure that you're not buying a property that has tenants in it. But let me tell you why the houses are going up in price right now. So we got these sellers, and they were in this forbearance situation, right? Every single house is not in trouble. Some people have just been leveraging the current system of stimulus checks and being able to apply for forbearance. I have family members who have even done this as well. They made great money. They have property. They bought the property about a year into the property. Here's the forbearance thing. They leverage it for 6 months and they don't have to pay their mortgage. Their lender let them put it on the back end of their loan. During those 6 months, they took stimulus as well. They stacked their money with their current jobs and their business, and they didn't have to pay for the mortgage. So they had a large amount to actually go buy more property and more land, right? During those 6 months in COVID, houses were going up, so their home appreciated, Now they're about to put their house on the market, and it's going to sell for maybe about $45,000 to $50,000 more than what it would have sold pre-COVID. There are sellers in this situation right now, guys. So because of the appreciating market, as well as some people were just playing it smart. I'm just going to be honest with you. Every person that filed for forbearance doesn't necessarily mean that they couldn't afford it. If someone was telling these sellers, hey, for 6 months, maybe a year, we're going to give you some forgiveness, and if you're paying $1,000 to $2,000 and $3,000, just imagine if that's your biggest expense that you have to pay for, and the government and lending companies are saying you don't have to pay it right now. There are smart people who were leveraging that and just pocketing that money and using that to, pay down debt, using that money that they be paying for their mortgage to go buy investment properties. I know during the COVID, my wife and I, we even did that as well. Now, where we actually rent a home that we live in, but we own property. Now, we actually were paying the tenants, but I will say during the COVID, because we weren't going out and traveling a lot, we saved a lot of money and we actually purchased property. There are sellers who are in that situation where they leveraged these systems where they didn't have to pay, and they were using that to go pay other things down. At the same time, the houses are appreciating, so they're getting equity as well. So you're saving money and the prices of the houses are going up. I know some of the buyers are like, I'll just wait until this thing ends because all these houses are going to go on the market. That's not necessarily true, because some people are just playing the system for what it is, a system, and it's a game, and they wanted to be on the winning side and save as much money as possible. For some of these houses that are going on the market, make sure that you buyers are looking out, making sure that the property is vacant, because some of these small landlords will be putting houses on the market that have tenants in. I'm seeing it right now because I'm investing in the Oklahoma real estate, and I'm seeing a ton of properties that have tenants in it. And I'm calling the agent like, hey, how long is the tenant in there? When is the lease up? Because I'm inheriting those issues if I purchase properties that have tenants in them, and the city has the eviction ban still in that city. So I just wanted to tell you guys, just think about that. Hey guys, so if you like any of these videos, guys, just hit that like button, subscribe, or even comment below if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and tell me a little bit about what you guys are experiencing during this pandemic. How are you guys dealing with purchasing houses, selling houses, buying houses, or any questions? I really want to hear from you guys as I'm making these videos for you guys every week. That like, subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the other side.